Okay, let's set up Git. First, you run git-version in your terminal, and if you see a version number, you're good. If you get something like command not found or an error, go to git-scm.com and install it. The installation defaults are fine for most setups, just go through the setup dialog. Once Git is installed, you have two configuration values you need to set, your name and your email. These get stamped onto every commit you make in the future, so basically set them once and forget about them. The actual commands are git config -- global user.name, and then you put your name, and then git config -- global user.email, and then your email address. That global flag means that this will apply across every repository on your machine, not just the current project, which is fine for our initial setup right now. Okay, next you need to do a GitHub CLI authentication. So you're going to run GH, which is for GitHub. So GH auth login. This is worth doing through GH rather than setting up raw SSH keys or personal access tokens, because Claude Code uses the same GitHub CLI to interact with GitHub on your behalf. So this is why we're doing it this way in this tutorial. Authenticate once, and both you and your Claude Code can push code, create repos, open pull requests, all without additional credential setup on behalf of you. For Windows developers, one of the gotchas you need to know about is that Git has a setting called core.autocrlf. That tries to manage line endings in your code automatically, but in practice, it creates a lot of noise in your diffs, in your code diffs, especially when the SDK regenerates those TypeScript files for you. So the cleaner fix is a .git attributes file at your project root. You're going to make that file, add a text equals auto, end of line equals LF, and that will normalize everything to LF, which makes it easier for SDK to understand and for Git purposes. You're basically adding an explicit rule pinning those files to LF as well. That way, regenerating SDK outputs won't flood your diff with line ending changes that aren't real code changes. All this, if it doesn't make sense, just let Claude Code take care of it for you when you start making changes. Okay, once you're ready, smoke test the whole change. From inside your SDK project directory, run gh repo view. If you haven't created a GitHub repo yet, or remote yet, it'll say that no remote is set, and that's fine. The point is that the command responds with an authentication error. If it does throw an auth error, type gh auth status and it'll tell you what's wrong so you can debug. But that's basically the setup. I know that's a little technical, but it's good to get that out of the way. Git is tracking your code now, your identity is on your commits, and the GitHub CLI is ready to go. Okay, that was a lot. Sorry. Talk to you in the next one.